Yeah, I'm good. What's up? I'm working on finishing up this friction folder. Here's the handle and here's the blade. It's a real sick Damascus friction folder. We're just doing the finished work. I'm in Pennsylvania. But yeah, I'm just cleaning some excess oil out of the slot in the friction folder handle. Yeah, it's mid-May. So it's like, it was in the 70s. It was really nice today in the 70s and sunny. So yeah, nice and warm. Let's see, I could almost use. No, that won't work. Scranton, Wilkes-Barre? Kinda. Like, I'm on that side of Pennsylvania. I'm not super close, but. Yeah. What's up, Z? How's it going? We're finishing up this Damascus friction folder. I can put together the mechanism for you. Oh, wait. Come on, get in there. There we go. Got that pin all the way through. And then there's the blade. It's also going to have this shotgun brass ferrule bolster type thing going on. I have to put that together next. But yeah. But yeah. It's going to be real nice. I don't know how well you can see. The lighting's not super great, but we got a walnut handle on the Damascus, and then with the brass as well. Like, it's going to be real nice. Oh yeah, for sure. It's going to look awesome. I'm going to get these little spacers glued in inside here. And then with those, I'm going to get this cut and shaped. That shouldn't take too terribly long. But, oh yeah, I'll bet. I'm not a jeweler. I'm a knife maker. But yeah, knife making isn't super easy either. Especially if you're making good knives. Actually, I should drill that through. I think it got gummed up with some linseed oil. Oh yeah, that's much better. Yeah, I'm just doing finished work on this Damascus friction folder here. Here's the handle and the blade. And then it's going to have a shotgun brass bolster type thing. So yeah, that's the first side glued on. It's just super glue. It's nothing fancy, but these spacers are going to be pinned in between the blade and the wooden handle, and they're going to be underneath the bolster, and they have pins going through them, so there's really nowhere for them to go. So I don't have to worry too much about them escaping. All right, there we go. I don't even know if you can see those in there. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. So there, that's that. I'll probably let that dry for a while. The super glue does set very fast, but it doesn't hurt to let it dry a little more. And in the meantime, we'll sand some of the stains off this knife blade very carefully. So. No, I need something smaller to wrap this around. There we go. That'll work. And we'll move that. I don't know how well you can see what I'm doing, but I'm just using this 7,000 grit sandpaper to polish off some of the staining from the coffee etch. So you can see how some of the brights here are a little bit dirty and stained. I'm using this super high grit sandpaper to polish those bits off. So yeah, and then I have to use my thumb for the bevels because they're all ground. Okay, that's just sanding off all the bricks. Well, I'm going to need to etch this again. Do another maybe half an hour in the gator piss. So, yeah, that's disappointing, but it is what it is. Let's see, where's my... Well, these are, yeah. Those are like jeweler's glasses, kind of. These are, I forget what they're currently set to. I can't see it. But they go up to like 3.5 times magnification. So if you can't read with these things on, I don't know what you're doing. But yeah. Yeah, I think you're just blind at that point. But yeah, we're gonna do another etch cycle with this to get those darks a little darker. Now we need to decide what way we want to cut the shotgun brass. I think we'll have to cut off on that slot inside. So I think this way, so we still get the 12 gauge, because I don't think there's enough material to split the 12 gauge that way. So I think maybe putting 12 on this side, and then probably lose most of the F and the L. But, or we could try and split the 12 gauge, and we'll just lose like the E and the D. Not sure. I think I might try and split the 12 gauge, honestly. Let's get the glued on. All right, there we go. Now we need. All right, there we go. Hey, what's up, Vid? How's it going? I just split the shotgun brass for the bolster, so we're almost done this thing. All right, we got that slot widened out. Weather by you is just bleh. It was really nice today here. Sunny and in the 70s. I don't know what that is in European, like 25 degrees Celsius maybe. But it was just perfect. It's rain for you? That sucks. Is this actually? Oh my god, it is. This is actually brass. They're magnetic. They're steel. Oh well. That looks pretty good. All right, there we go. I may draw out this hole a little more. All right, I'm gonna countersink the holes in the pinholes in the handle a little bit. Hey, what's up, J Sharp? We're doing finish work for the friction folder. All right, let's see. Let's see. here. I just countersunk the pinholes so I can peen over the pins a little bit. So I'll do the stop pin now, because why not? A little 4-ounce tippy tap hammer. Yeah. See, I need something that uses the handle. Something small. There we go. Do you need? No, I'll just find it. It'll take half as long. There we go. Actually, I can do this in the actual vise. My other little hammer. see. Joe Kyle. Thanks, Joe. I guess you guys can probably see what I'm doing better without the light. I can see a heck of a lot better with it. So I'm just gonna have to make do. But yeah, I'm just peening over the stop pin right now while the blade's etching. Yeah, hit the like button, y'all. Thanks, J Sharp. Nevada, nice. There we go. Got that. It's still set in a little bit, but that's that. And now get that cut off. That's getting real hot, so I think I'll cut it the rest of the way with these snippers. Here, I'll cool that down. All right. Take our knife out of the acid. We're almost ready for final assembly. Yeah, we're just finishing up the friction folder. But it's just a chill evening stream real quick while I'm finishing this up. Like button smash like an anvil. Thank you. Though if your anvil is getting smashed, that's not ideal. Usually it's whatever you're putting on top of the anvil that you want to get smashed. We have 3. One is super tiny and for jewelry. Cool. There we go. I got the shotgun shell pieces cut and shaped. So now it's just to set this pin and then glue those pieces on, and then we'll be done. Guys, see into the future? Just about. Let's see. Need a lot of numbers. Yeah, I can't see that far, unfortunately. Oh, thanks, Tornado. Yeah, that's cool. I like doing these live streams. They're real fun. Yeah, I try to actually be doing something in my live streams rather than just sitting there and getting donations for no reason. Like, seems like most of the live streams, especially these YouTube Shorts live streams, are. I have to grind this flat real quick. I'll be back in a sec. Also, thank you, Ethan. Thanks for subscribing. All right, there we got both the pins peened over. Let's see, Mr. Host, what do you do when you're not in your workshop? Well, I'm a high schooler. I'm about to graduate high school in a couple of weeks. So that's something I do. And then I also have a job teaching blacksmithing. So it's usually I'm either at school, I'm at work, or I'm on a couch watching YouTube and chilling and chatting with other blacksmiths and creators usually. Or obviously, eating dinner or sleeping or stuff like that. But yeah. There's our peens pinned over. Cool. There we go. Now, super glue time. All right. See a vid. I just getting these brass pieces on See ya. Good luck with your baking. Just get some wood wax on there. I soaked this in boiled linseed oil earlier to get a lot of that oil penetration done. But boiled linseed oil is not a food safe finish because it has chemicals in it to make it solidify like it does. So I always do a few coats of this stuff. It's just like, it's a pretty generic wood finish, or like soft wax wood finish from Old Hammer Woodworks. It's a local to me, or at least somewhat local, like, you know, veteran-owned small business type thing. So I like to support him, use his wood wax. He's really cool. Just bring a little bit of sheen back into the walnut after all the handling I did of it. There we go. What's up, Ian? Oh yeah, you know it's gonna be good when the Optivisor's coming. Here, I haven't sharpened it yet, but other than that, it's basically done. I don't know how well the camera's picking up the colors, but yeah. So yeah, the only issue is the blade pokes out the back here, but I'm gonna make like a leather, like probably like a hip carry, like a holster for it, which will also be sick. But yeah, and it feels real nice in the hand. You can either have like pokey poke, or for like opening boxes or letters or stuff like that, and your fingers just tuck right into that hollow grind in there, and you can pinch up against the bolster, or you can also like hammer fist it. Let's see, what's my phone at? 21. But we just got to sharpen it now. But the edge it's a real thin edge, like you can see. I ground that thing real close, which is going to make sharpening easier. I got to move the charging cord because we are on life support right now. But yeah. Oh. Yeah, we got a new camera. We got a new camera angle for the grinder here. I'll probably move the water bucket. But if I drop this thing at all, that's bad. but I really don't want to drop it into that water bucket because that would be really bad. Let's see, I'll probably... No, I'm not going to start at 400. I'll start at 220. Yeah, I can't do the fancy stones, so I just belt sharpen. No, that's too fast. All right, well, that's as slow as my belt grinder goes, so. All right, that's all the main edge apexed. How on earth did it get that loose that fast? That's not good. Here, let me just finish sharpening it. All right. That was 220. You can go. That's 120. Where's 400? Here's the 400. Alrighty. We'll just done plugging it. Yeah, we're almost done. Get my slack strap here. Just rub some buffing compound into it. Just use the buffing compound like a crayon. And then get it tightened down real good. not quite shaving. See how it goes with some paper. I may need to clean some of the buffing compound off of the edge. That is very rough. It cuts, but not smoothly. And it doesn't shave. Maybe I'll take it to 600 rather than 400, just 400. There we go. I'm not used to sharpening without a buffing wheel. Let's see, it should cut. Yeah, it cuts okay. I think I need a buffer. Get all the buffing compound and even it out with the part of the strap that doesn't have any buffing compound on it. Super ragged. I'm assuming it's not. I think I just need a, or maybe. Thanks, MH. It's not the sharpest thing I've ever made, not by a long shot. But it might be the coolest. Hey, what's up, Gage? How's it going? We're just finishing up this Damascus friction folder. Dagger. Unfortunately, has a little bit of wiggle that way. And I know why that is. And I know how to fix it. It just means undoing a little bit of stuff. So I have to take the brass back off and peen the pin a little tighter. So let's see, where's my torch? The easiest way to undo there we go. Just wait until it smokes a little bit. How to do what? Like, well, let's see. How to do that on knife with pins assembling? What, tighten up the wobble? No, I don't know. I do not know how to do that. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Sorry. Oh no. I need that. Ah, here it is. Chip away cutting. If they're Corby bolts or if they're like screws, you can try tightening them. But if it's not that, then I don't know. I'm not really a folder maker. I just do friction folders every so often. You have to chip all the old glue off first. Has rounded off pins. Let's see. What kind of folder did you say it was? A lockback? Those aren't terribly complicated. I actually have one disassembled on my bench. Yeah, so give me a sec. There we go. Oh no, yours, this is actually a very simple one. Sometimes they have more pieces. But this one, you have the blade, and this it's all rusty, but you have the blade and the lock bar that fits into the blade. And then this just went like that and pressed up a little bit. So this is the spring here. And when you press this bit down to release the lock bar, it has to compress this spring a little bit. And then it'll close up. So you could, in theory, take it apart. I guess maybe replace the pins or replace them with okay, so if yours is much more complicated than that, than what the one I've got, you'll probably maybe want to either contact the manufacturer, maybe, let's see, yeah, you could contact the manufacturer, folder maker, and see if they can help you. See. Yeah, sadly, I think I'm going to improve that we're on. Yeah, that would certainly be a better knife. He's a really good knife maker. Probably better than me in a couple of things. Maybe patience. I'm pretty confident I'm the better blacksmith of the two of us. But I think he certainly does a lot more hand sanding and stuff. And he's actually, no, I know what he's better for sure at. Leather. He's way better with leather than me. Yeah, some sentimental value. You can always keep it and maybe send it off to a folder maker to restore. But yeah, that's all that. Pretty much all of that wiggle is gone now. It's a little tighter as well, which I like. It's supposed to have friction. That's a friction folder. It doesn't wiggle now. Not razor sharp. I don't know why. I always just use a buffing wheel to get them razor sharp, which I guess lazy knife making. But yeah. All right, see you in a bit. I'll get these bolsters cleaned out and then glued back on. It's 2 hours with almost 10 o'clock. Hey, what's up, Bevel and Bark? How's it going? I'm just finishing up this Damascus friction folder. I'm just gluing on these shotgun brass bolsters. Sound cut out? I'm not sure why it would have. I didn't mute. There, is that, are we good or no? There we go. Okay, cool. The Wi-Fi just quit, so we're back now though. I'm running out of glue. That would suck. Headphones aren't super cheap, unless they're the cheap wired one, the wired ones. You know the kind I'm talking about. Those are pretty cheap. That wouldn't be a big deal. But if they're nice headphones, that would suck. That's fair, but like relatively cheap. I'm talking about the ones that are $2 at Walmart. JBL wireless. Yeah, those aren't. And they're not like super expensive, but certainly not cheap. I don't know. Maybe JBL makes expensive ones, but come on. This thing just really doesn't want to cut nicely, which is frustrating. Well, I know exactly why, but if I take this thing to the buffing wheel, those darks will become lights. You'll still be able to see the pattern because of the depth that's etched into it, but oh damn, those are expensive ones then. But yeah, there's our blade. I'm gonna put another coat of the this stuff. No, it's not, or you know, maybe you mean edge geometry. It's not that. the edge geometry is super thin. That's good. Yeah. It looks good. And like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just because I can't buff it. That's normally, like, it's sharp. Like, it'll whittle and it'll cut all sorts of stuff. It's just not like screaming sharp like I usually get them. And it's not as sharp as I'm used to having my knives. Oh. Guess that wasn't quite set. What's up, Paloo? How's it going? Yeah, I don't know. I tried to like strop it instead of buffing, but it's just not as good. But like, well, this isn't gonna shave right now. But like, if I took this to the buffing wheel and I just buffed it real quick, so it's not gonna shave right now. But if I buff this, it'll shave right now. And the geometry on this is worse in every way than the geometry on that one. Just a quick buzz on the buffing wheel. And yeah, it's shaving. Just like that. It's not shaving by much, but like, even just that. And the edge geometry on this thing is way worse than the edge geometry on the other one. So it's just not buffing using the buffing wheel. That's all there is to it. But yeah, need some casings. Oh, I'll bet. I have a buddy, like a personal friend, who does a pretty good amount of shooting. So that's where I got these ones. But yeah, definitely I could do that. Yeah. But this thing is looking very nice. I don't think you can. The little camera doesn't really do it justice. But yeah, there's our. Heck, neither does the good camera. Maybe if I got it out in sunlight, but that's not really an option right now. Come on. It is a little bit tight from the thing, but there's our Damascus. And there's the whole thing together. Pennsylvania. Pokey poke. Pokey poke. Yeah, it's really nice. I don't know to count, but there's the layer count. So it's like 8, maybe 10. Hang on, let me. I'm going to count this. Massachusetts. I have family in Massachusetts. Let's see. 1, 2. Okay, so like 1, 2, 4, 10. Yeah, so like 10 or 11 layers. But like, we'll just call it 10 layers. Yeah. And that, so this, the Damascus was an offcut from Baker Forge and Tool, or they do like sell their boxes of end cuts. And that's what this was. Unfortunately, the blade is a little bit off center of the handle. Very unfortunate. But it is what it is. So, yeah. Nothing I can do about that now. Also, this one's kind of fun because you have to be real stinking careful closing it, because if you're not careful and you press on there, the sharpened bit, that would not be fun. But yeah, there we go. And then that'll fit pretty nicely in a pocket or a watch pocket. Like heck, that'll probably even fit in there with the lighter I've got in there. Maybe. Not quite. But yeah. But eventually I'm gonna make a little leather carry holster for this thing, so you can have it on like your hip or something like that. Baker Forge and Tool. They make Damascus, like real high-end, like Kumai Damascus billets for making crazy knives and swords out of. But they also occasionally put up boxes of end cuts, so you can get a box of like the end cuts of the Damascus. Oh, there's a nice cut. But yeah, Baker Forge and Tool. They're in Tennessee, I think. But yeah, that's that. I am going to end the stream. 10:10 Make-A-Wish. I wish to fall asleep as soon as my head hits the pillow, because I have to wake up at 6:30 for school tomorrow. So yeah. One last time, in case any of y'all, the 25 of you that are here, missed it. There's our blade. Oh, yeah. So they're neighbors, basically. But yeah. North Carolina. Okay, I thought they were in Tennessee. North Carolina. Okay, then. Yeah. But there's our blade. 12 gauge shotgun shell. Very cool. Walnut from a piece of firewood. And yes, I will be going to bed now. So good night, all of you. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And I will maybe. Not sure. I might. Yeah. I might clean up all this junk and try and do some leather work down here to make the pocket holster for that tomorrow. We'll see. I might take I took a break all this weekend. I don't need to take a break. So yeah, anyways. Stream tomorrow, maybe? We'll see. Subscribe. Have a good night, and I'll see y'all next time. Have a good one.